Hello! Hello! Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Any of you guys listen to Garrison Keillor this weekend? It was public radio, and they were begging for money, and he was going, no, no! Just thought I'd throw it out on the wall. Also, Border Poetics Consortium and Amalio Medueno have also contributed to this evening. Amalio! Show your love for Amalio Medueno! Yeah! Alright, I'm bringing you back. Get you ready here. So I am honored to do this right now. It's from Fragments of Perseus. Listen, Lawrence. Listen, Lawrence. There are certain of us intensely committed to a real revolt. A revolt that we only begin to conceptualize as we achieve it. The conception begins slow. As we do it, as we really do it, as we make the revolution with our bodies, our real bodies. Our real bodies are not divisible from the bulk of our brother and sister beings. We are alarmed by the simultaneous extinction of overcrowding of creatures. We believe that the universe of discourse, of talk and habit, pattern, actions, and the universe of politics are equivalent. That politics is dead and biology is here.
Yes, it is.
We live, thank you very much, sister. We live near the shadow, at the near edge of the shadow, too near of the extermination of the diversity of living beings. No need to list their names. Mountain gorilla, grizzly, dune tansy, 50 fucking animals dead in Ohio. For it is too terrible, elegy to do so. Communism, capitalism, socialism will do nothing to save the surge of life, the 10,000 of the 10,000th vast Da Vincian molecule of which all life is a particle. And I also wanted to, I was just saying that I feel always like Dan Daly to Michael C. Ford's perfect Gene Kelly. And I really do. I mean, honest to God, Michael's really become one of my favorite people on the whole planet. I love being around him. His presence is wonderful. And he too is history. He's walking history. Michael, how the hell did you and Michael McClure meet? Michael.
Yo!
How did you guys meet? I can't see it.
Cinema Tech 16, Sunset Boulevard, June 1969. Norman Mailer benefit.
Yes. And what happened?
With Jim Morrison.
With Jim Morrison.
Yeah, he told me I should read for the first time in front of people, and he invited McClure down from San Francisco, and that's how we got into that collaboration.
Wow.
Yeah.
And here we are. No, Michael wanted me to tell it, but I couldn't possibly tell it better than you. So, Michael, how did you guys meet?
1969, I'm not sure of the month. There was a benefit for benefit in support of Norman Mailer, who was in a lot of trouble. And the readers there were Michael, Jack Hirschman, Jim Morrison. Robbie Krieger was playing the guitar. Anybody else on the instrument? Only Robbie?
Seymour Cassell.
It was a good evening.
Excellent. That's how they met. Rarely do you get both sides of the same story in one place. A rare treat. Oh, exactly. Unrehearsed for you live. All right, so I really do now want to read a couple of quotes. They're all by Steve Allen. It's interesting. Michael C. Ford is the voice of God if God were blowing a trumpet on Kirk Douglas' movie after midnight. Another quote by Steve Allen. Michael C. Ford is the intersection of all beings, large and small, who really go to the big and tall men's store to get the midget clothing. Steve Allen. You know, he was quite an amazing guy, Steve Allen. So anyway, truly, Michael C. Ford is, pretty much he is. He's a living legend. He really is. I mean, it's hard for me to say that because he's my friend, and all my friends are legends. Steve Allen said that too. And he really is one of the finest poets, one of the finest performers, and one of the finest minds I've ever encountered. Show your love for Michael C. Ford! Michael C. Ford!
Yeah, I really have to say, when you're introduced by S.A. Griffin, you never have to be introduced by anyone ever again. Actually happened, I was at the 516 Gallery in Albuquerque, and Lisa Gill, you know Lisa, she said, I'll introduce you. And I said, S.A. Griffin introduced me at the Onyx 7 years ago. It's not necessary. And she didn't. I know what they were. It's absolutely true. And, you know, there was a quote, Michael McClure actually blurred one of my books, and it was, The World is a Suburb of Los Angeles, published by Bill Moore through his Momentum Press. And I thought, as a benediction, I would read something from that book. At the Bear River Bird Refuge, we slow down. 15 miles west of Brigham City, the Promontory Mountains loom in the afternoon like cannons in a surrealist civil war. As we track the killdeer's pebbly nest, she hatches in the rocks. Without benefit of observation towers, we stalk egrets and herons nesting in the lower marshes on alkali mudflats. After the chill, still falling winter, avocets breed in the weeds. A jeweled necklace of leftover rain hangs off the Thule reeds, where the river rises to accommodate coots, curlews, cinnamon teals, and western grebes. Like swamp guards in a hobbit land, 2 barn swallows perch on tip-tops of cattails gone to seed. A family of Canadian geese navigating the open water, closed station wagons doing the 12-mile loop as we slow down on the road. An eruption of red-crowned blackbirds over there ripples the rushes. We slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. Now this is, I wrote that 1981, a couple of years ago. And you guys hear about a poet named Phyllis McGinley. She wrote this sort of clever, innocuous, sophisticated doggerel published in the New Yorker, not too surprising. But she wrote these things called love letter to New York, love letter to commuter trains, love letter to suburban lawns, love letter to her blue-eyed daughter, love letter, jump rope in the driveway. And I thought, you know, I'd like to write about my own suburban experience. I went to Audubon Junior High School, which is a neighborhood which is now considered part of South Central. And there's a word in here I want to just mention. It's called benzol. And benzol is an impure form of benzene, is really what it is. And which, as most of you know, is a toxic, flammable liquid. And that word is in here. I just wanted you to know what that was before I got into this body copies. A love letter to Phyllis McGinley. Like a funny housewife rhyme, I call you miracle of mothers. Really, not much different from the others. By this kinetic womb, poetic reprisal, with urban jungle magic, I find yours. Because you are sorceress, you are enchantress, coercing me towards alliteration bits like spit benzol I put on the negligible part of a napkin before the age of 17. It was easier then, when things began to change, when LA gangland was teenage wolf packs, chooks and spades and Buddha heads, brawling in the lobby of the Fox Inglewood, booze bottles clanking in the gummy aisles of our own war-zone neighborhood cinema. The Lamert Theater legend cracked on the deserted marquee. It's a Sunday revival auditorium now, a central LA Pentecostal shriekathon. Audubon, our old school, still a battleground today. The park is shot with garbage, and the Baldwin Hills in my imagination continue to clash with your dove call on rooftops in suburban Connecticut. I've become an abandoned jump rope on a driveway in Westport. I've just been discarded by a small creature during the turning of all these yearnings of years, as she herself today turned into who is woman formed and whose eyes all the time in their seeing blue America. You know, when you're so sweet, you want to, and polite, you want to applaud after everything. Well, you know, save the wear and tear on the palms of your hands and wait until I really deserve it.
All right then,
And instead of babysitters, my parents took me to the movies. 3, 4, 5, 6 of us watching these flicks. I'd cack out, I'd wake up and I'd see these images on the screen. I'd see, a lot of them were horror movies. Frog Island, Curse of the Cat People, Bride of the Gorilla, Zombies on Broadway. You know. So I wanted to write something in my book, To Kiss the Blood Off Our Hands, which is essentially all black and white images lifted from noir cinema. And this is titled, Sometimes We Provide Ourselves. Sometimes we... This is dedicated to Vita Ann Borg. Most of you probably don't remember her. She was sort of the brassy blonde that appeared in all of these horror films. So this is how it reads. Sometimes we provide for ourselves our own horror to Vita Ann Borg, her movies. The rain goes gray as only it can in a black and white fright flick. The old Broke Bridge collapsed just like Carol Lombard's bed in the ironically titled Nothing Sacred. The eerie screech of B.F. Goodrich, a four-door sedan, is racked up on a mud flat. 3 absent-minded scientists, plus 1 sleek, high-fashion female hitchhiker tourist with spun gold hair, are all standing now in the murky storm. Brilliant lightning cracks the night, reveals this gloomy stone castle with plenty of guest rooms. Vampires who complain about working for scale kiss into the necks of RKO contract players. Yet, possibly, no one remembers you, Vita, except maybe scabs like us, waiting for non-union work and a pickup truck ride, rattling off to a day gig. Those of us who stand always against our own storms every day in Blood City, California.